Hello students. So welcome to this first video on Class 8 NSO, which is National Science Olympiad. And in this video, we are going to solve the question paper from the year 2017 set A, and we will solve the first 25 questions. So as in any other videos, you will learn the quickest method to solve the questions. Normally, if you got multiple choices within the answers, or if you got true and false, you don't need to solve all the options. So I'll tell you what is the quickest method. You'll also learn the science fundamentals and concepts with some interesting facts and images. And this courses will surely help you in your class 8 science school exams. So you may want to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's begin. The first one, select a figure from the options which will complete the given figure matrix. Okay, so the first one is something that we need to solve. The second one is we want to find the pattern. Again, the pattern is very easy. So easy questions to start the question paper. If you add the first figure with the second figure, you will get the third figure. Okay, you add the first figure with the second figure. If you add this horizontal line, there will be horizontal line. The two vertical lines here, the two vertical lines here, then the central vertical line, the central vertical line, then the four this diagonal lines, so four diagonal lines. So if you add 1 and 2, you will get 3. Similarly, if you add 1 and 2, you will get the top figure here, the top figure, the bottom figure here, bottom figure, and this left arrow and right arrow, if you join, you will get a diamond shape. So again, for the first one, you have to follow the same principle. You have to add first with second. So there is a empty circle, there is a filled circle. The filled circle will be in the empty circle. Filled circle is an empty circle. This the upward pointing arrow, downward pointing arrow. When you mix this, it will become a star like this. And if you mix multiplication and plus, again you will have a star like this. Plus and multiplication, when you mix this, you'll have a star. And again downward arrow and upward arrow, when you mix the both the figures, you will have a star like this. So easy question to start with. Okay, next one. Study the given information carefully and answer the question that follows. P, Q, R, S, T, U, and V are sitting in a row facing north. T is to the immediate right of V. Now in such questions, immediately start drawing. Now immediately start drawing on the rough page or book. So T is to the immediate right of V. So T is to the immediate right of V. P is the neighbor of R and U. So R and U, just place R and U somewhere, and P is the neighbor of R and U, isn't it? And V is fourth to the right of Q. V, place Q so that V is fourth to the right of Q. 1, 2, 3, and 4. V is fourth to the right of Q. And person who is third to the left of you is at one of the ends. So person to the third of the left of you. 1, 2, 3. So Q is to the left of you. Third to the left of you is one of its ends. So if when you solve this, you will get a figure like this, the positions like this. And then you can say that who is second to the right of you. So second to the right of you is V and T. So T is second to the right of you. Okay, question number 3. Which of the following options does not satisfy the same condition? It does not satisfy the same condition of placement of dots as in figure X. Okay, so in questions like this, and you must have seen such questions in your past year's exam. So you have to find the position of dots. Okay, the first dot is inside the circle, it is inside the square, it is inside the triangle. Sorry, this is triangle. This is triangle. Okay, then the second dot is inside the circle and the triangle, but out of the square. It is out of the square. And third dot is inside the circle but is out of square and triangle. So which of the condition does not satisfy? You'll see that only condition B does not satisfy, because the whole part of the circle the whole part of the circle, triangle, this whole part of the circle and triangle intersection, this whole part is within the square, isn't it? Is within the square. So if you want to fit a dot which is inside the circle and the triangle, circle and the triangle. So condition 2, if you want to fit a dot which is inside the circle and the triangle but out of the squares, out of the square, it is not possible in B because whole of this intersecting part is inside the square. So option B is not possible. Okay, question number 4. In a certain code language, if tutorial is written as WRWLUFDI, then how will guidance be written in that language? So you have to note the pattern. Again, this is a easy pattern. So T plus 3, I mean, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, and W. U, V, and W. So if you add 3 letters to T, it will become W. If you from U, if you subtract 3 letters, it will become R. Again, from T, if you add 3 letters, it will become W. From O, if you subtract 3 letters, it will be L. From R, if you add 3 letters, M, no, P, Q, R, S, T, U, S, T, and U, it will become U. From I, if you subtract 3, it will be F. If you add 3 letters to A, it will be D. If you subtract 3 letters from L, it will be I. So that's how you arrive at WRWLUFDI. WRWLUFDI. Similarly, for guidance, the first is you have to add 3 to G, then you will get J. You have to subtract 3 letters from U, you will get R. If you add 3 letters to I, you will get L. If you subtract 3 from D, you will get A. If you add 3 letters to A, you will get D. And if you subtract 3 letters from N, you will get K. So JRLADK, JRLADK, isn't it? You don't have to solve for C and E. That's it. JRLADK. The option which starts with JRLADK, option D is the right option. Find the missing number if same rule is followed in all the 3 figures. Again, you have to find the pattern, and this was a very good question. So 16 into 4, 16 4 is 64, and what is root of 64 is 8, because 8 is 64, isn't it? 18 into the 27 into 12, what is 27 into 12? It is 324, and what is the root of 324? 18, because 18 18s are 324, so 18 here, is it? Similarly, 18 into 8, what is 18 into 8? Is 144, and root of 144, what is root of 144? 12. So question mark is 12. Okay, next one. The given question consists of a set of 4 figures P, Q, R, and S showing a sequence of folding of a piece of paper. Figure S shows the manner in which the folded paper has been cut. So they have punched 3 holes in this folded paper. Select the figure from the options which would most closely resemble the unfolded form of figure S. So once you fold this, once you punch the 3 holes, you have to unfold this, and you have to find the unfolded form. Again, note that there is a hole here. So when you unfold this, there will be hole here. When you unfold this, there will be hole here and hole here. So there will be 4 holes in the center. The only figure which has got 4 holes in the center is option A. So the right option is option A. Okay, the next one. In which of the following figures, figure X is exactly embedded as one of its parts? So again, you have to visualize, isn't it? Visualize. So if you place this figure in B, if you place this figure in B, then you will get that this figure exactly is embedded in option B. So option B is the right option. Okay, how many pair of letters are there? How many pairs of letters are there in the word operation which have as many letters between them in a word as in the English alphabet? So the first pair is OP, MNOP. Here OP, 0 letters here, and also in the English alphabet there is 0 letters between O and P. MNOP, isn't it? OR, in OR there are 2 letters, and in the English alphabet LMNO PQR. So PQ, again 2 letters in the English alphabet and 2 letters here in the word. PR, isn't it? PR. So PR is PQR. Here there is P and R, there is letter E. And in the English alphabet, letter Q, PQR, 1 letter. P and T, MNOP, QRST, three letters, QRST in the English alphabet. Here also three letters, E, R, and A. R and T, P, Q, R, S, T. In the English alphabet, there is one letter, S, R, S, T, between R and T. And here also R, A, T. So there is one letter A. O and N is an M, N, O, P. Sorry, O and N, M, M, N, O. Between O and N, there is no letters. O and I, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Isn't it? There are five letters. J, K, L, M, N, O. Between I and O. So I and O, there are five letters. Here also there are five letters. P, E, R, A, T. Isn't it? And O and T. Isn't it? M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So four letters. P, Q, R, and S. And here also P, E, R, A. Between T and O, there are four letters. So we can find 8 such pairs. So 8 such pairs is more than 7. More than 7 such pairs. So the option is D. Which of the following options will continue the same series as established by the problem figures? So these are the problem figures. So in such question, just note the position of the horizontal line. So position of horizontal lines is towards the right. Here it is coming down towards middle, and here it is at the left side. At the bottom it is left. Here it is at the right. Here it is coming down at the middle, and for the last figure it will be something at the bottom left. The only option where the line is at the bottom left is option C, isn't it? Here it is at the option C. Again, I'll explain this. Here it is at right, it is coming towards center, and then it is coming towards left at the bottom. Here it is at right, it is coming towards center, and in the final figure it will be somewhere towards the left, bottom left. So only option is option C, where it is at the bottom left. Priyanshu walked 8 meters east, and then he turned right and walked 3 meters. So again, you have to start drawing in such questions. So start point, Priyanshu walked 8 meters east. Then again, he turned right. He turned right here, walked 3 meters. Then again, he turns right here and walked 12 meters. 12 meters, isn't it? So how far is he now from the start point? So start is here, end is here. Again, easy question. So what is the vertical distance? Vertical distance is 3. This. And what is the horizontal distance? Horizontal is 12 minus 8, isn't it? 12 minus 8, which is 4. And again, Pythagoras theorem. So hypotenuse is 4 square plus 3 square is hypotenuse square. What is 4 square? 16. What is 3 square? 9. 16 plus 9 is 25, which is hypotenuse square. So hypotenuse is square root of 25. What is square root of 25? Is 5. So this distance is 5 meters. Okay, a 20 Pascal pressure is applied on the head of a nail placed perpendicular to the surface of a wall. So you are just hammering the nail into the wall. If the area of cross section of the tip of the nail is 1/10 of 1/10 times of the area of the cross section of the head, the pressure exerted at the wall will be, isn't it? It will be 200 Pascal. So let's see how, isn't it? So if the surface area decreases, the pressure will increase. You know, a simple example is car on 4 tires. Because the car is on 4 tires, the weight of the car is equally distributed among the 4 tires. So each tire will carry 1/4 of the weight of the car. However, if you remove one tire, the pressure will be carried only by 3 tires, isn't it? So pressure on the tire will increase because the surface area is decreased. One of the tires is less, surface area is less, isn't it? Similarly, the tip of the nail is 1/10 of the surface area of the head. So if you hammer at the head, at the tip of the nail, it will be 10 times more pressure, isn't it? The 10 times more pressure because the surface area has decreased. So 10 times of the pressure of 20 Pascals. So 10 into 20 is 200 Pascals. Okay, next one. 2 metal spheres are mounted on insulating stands, isn't it? Insulating stands. Sphere P is initially uncharged and sphere Q is initially positively charged. A metal rod held by an insulating handle is placed in contact with P and Q. P and Q. What are the charges on P and Q after the rod is placed in contact with them? Again, this is an easy question. So conventional current, so current which flows via a medium, conventional current, it will flow from the positive terminal, isn't it? So Q, because Q is positive, P will also become positively charged after once it comes in contact via the metal rod. So the positive current will flow from Q to P, and P will also be positively charged. A fire can be made by rubbing two objects together, such as rubbing two pieces of rock having rough surfaces, isn't it? You must have tried this. There are some rocks. When you hit those two rocks, it produces a spark or a fire, isn't it? Which of the following statements explain why a fire can be made by rubbing two objects together? So again, the only option which is true is friction produces heat, isn't it? If you friction will produce heat. So in winter, when you rub your hands, they become hot or they become warm because friction it produces heat, isn't it? And B is the only correct answer. It is the only correct option, number 3. Two forces of equal magnitude. Again, we'll just see as to why the others are incorrect. Is friction slows down moving objects. Friction slows down moving objects is true, but that is not the cause of fire. Fire gives out heat and light energy. That is true, but it is not the cause of fire. Friction produces heat. That is the only cause of fire when you strike both of the rocks. And fire has no mass. Again, which is true, but that is not the cause of the fire, isn't it? Okay. 14. Two forces of equal magnitude F act on two isolated bodies P and Q as shown in the figure. F on P and force F on Q. The mass of the body Q is 3 times as that of P. This mass is 3 times heavier than P. The magnitude of acceleration will be of P will be, isn't it? So P, because Q is so very heavy, when you apply force, it will be very difficult for you to move. But because P is lighter, when you apply force, P will move rapidly. So magnitude of acceleration at P, because P will move fast, it will be 3 times of Q, because Q is 3 times heavier than P, isn't it? So let's take a typical example. If you try pushing a car 800 kgs, so let Q be 800 kgs, you will be barely able to move, that, isn't it? But if you try pushing a scooter, so if P is a scooter, then you will be easily able to push it, isn't it? Because scooter is lighter than car. So because the body is lighter, the magnitude of acceleration will be higher as compared to a heavier body with the same amount of force applied. Okay, the speed of sound in air, water, and steel is different. If the speed of sound in air, water, and steel is represented by VA, VW, and VS, respectively, then which of the following sequences is correct up to the speed of sound in ascending order? Ascending is increasing order, isn't it? Again, water is denser than air, isn't it? So that's why in speed of sound in water will be lower than air, because in the sound, if it passes through a denser medium, its speed will decrease because sound are waves, isn't it? And if it pass through a denser medium, the waves movement will decrease because it's a denser medium. So speed of sound in water is lower than air, isn't it? And speed of sound in steel, it will be lowest because steel is denser than water. So it will be still low in steel as compared to water. So the fastest will be air. Speed of sound in it will be fastest, isn't it? And sorry, this is in ascending order, isn't it? Its ascending order is, which will be the fast, it will be the in steel, so in steel it will be the slowest, isn't it? In steel it will be slowest, and then in water it will be a bit fast, and in air it will be the fastest. Air, it will be the fastest. So steel will be slowest, in water it will be a bit fast, and air will be fastest. Okay, next one. In the given figure, two mirrors X and Y are situated at an angle of 60 degrees with each other. So one mirror is here, another mirror is here at an angle of 60 degrees. And a ray of light is incident on mirror X at an angle of 50 degrees. So angle, this is 50 degrees, angle of incidence. When the ray is reflected by the mirror Y, then what is the angle of reflection? Isn't it? What is the angle of reflection? So again, when the ray comes here at 50 degrees, it will also exit at 50 degrees. Angle of incidence, here angle of incidence. So 50 degrees. So if you take this triangle X and this point, what are the angles? One angle is 50, another angle is 60. So what will be the third angle? Okay, so 50 plus 60 is 110, and sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180. So 180 minus 110 is 70. So this angle is 70. This angle will be 70. So if this angle is 70, what is the angle of reflection? The angle of reflection will be 90 minus 70. Isn't it? 90 minus 70. So 90 minus 70 is 20. So angle of reflection will be 20 degrees. Okay, next one. The diagram shows identical lamps X and Y connected in series with a battery. The lamps light with normal brightness. If a third identical lamp Z is connected in parallel to X, then what will happen to the brightness of lamp Y? And because X and Z are parallel, the current will get distributed here. So this will be about half the brightness. X and Z will glow with half the brightness. But what happens to Y? Now, because X and Z, it offers higher resistance, Y, more current will flow through Y. More current will flow through Y, and Y will appear brighter. Brightness of the lamp will be brighter than normal, isn't it? It will be brighter than the normal brightness of Y. The device used to prevent the flow of excess current in circuit is a fuse, isn't it? It's a fuse. So normally in your home you will see fuse boxes or MCB box. It's circuit breaker, magnetic circuit breaker. It is a magnetic thing. So as soon as the current increases, the magnet, it pulls the switch down. When it pulls the switch down, it will disconnect the circuit. So as soon as there is a surge in the current, as soon as there is excess current, this switch will trip and there will be no light, because there is no light, all the other equipments, they will be saved. Otherwise, if there is excess current in fridge or TV, the fridge may get damaged or the TV may just blow off. It will get damaged. So this circuit breaker, actually, it will prevent the excess current getting into the house, getting into the home. Okay, next one. Read the given statements and select the correct option. Statement 1, the seasons are caused by the tilt of the Earth's axis. And statement 2 is the axis of the Earth is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees to the plane of its orbit. So statement 1 and 2 are true. Seasons are caused by tilt, and tilt is 23.5 degrees. But statement 2 is not the correct reason for the seasons, isn't it? Even though it's tilted, what is the other reason? Because the Earth moves around the sun. The Earth rotates around the sun, and because the tilt remains the same. Let's see here in December, because the northern hemisphere is pointed away from the sun. It is winter here, because in December it is very cold in the northern hemisphere or in European regions. So when you come to March, around March, it is spring season, isn't it? The northern hemisphere, it comes a bit closer. In the month of June, again, the northern hemisphere is closer to the sun, isn't it? It is pointing towards the sun. It is closer to the sun. So that's why June, July, August is summer season in the northern hemisphere, in Europe and in UK. And again in September, the northern hemisphere, it is the same kind of weather as in the spring, isn't it? Because northern hemisphere, it is at the same distance as in spring. So, but because it is preparing for winter, the plants, they start shedding the leaves. So it is the start of autumn. So September, October is the start of winter, which is autumn, isn't it? Okay, next one. 3 containers P, Q, and R are made of metal filled with chilled water. Of metal are filled with chilled water, ice cubes, and boiling water. So in P there is chilled water, in Q there is ice cubes, and in R there is boiling water with vapor respectively. These containers are kept at room temperature. Which of the following graph shows the temperature variations in all the containers correctly? Okay, so which is the correct answer? Correct answer is option D, isn't it? Because P contains chilled water. So at time T0, The chilled water still has temperature. It may be 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, but it's because water is chilled. But it is not frozen, isn't it? It will still have temperature. So from 5 degrees, it will start getting warm up. It will start getting warmer, isn't it? It will come finally to the room temperature. The room temperature may be like this, 25, 30 degrees. So it will come to the room temperature. Q. What is Q? Q has got ice cubes. So at time zero or whatever, for certain amount of time, still the ice cubes are still ice cubes. Then after a certain amount of time, they will start melting. They will start melting. So the temperature will rise. So still for few seconds or few minutes, they will still be ice cubes. So temperature will be 0 degrees, isn't it? After that, the temperature will start rising because they will start melting. And after a certain amount of time, it will also be the same temperature, same room temperature. It will be water at the room temperature. Similarly, boiling water at time t equal to 0, it will be 100 degrees because it is boiling. So, and boiling with the vapor, so it is still boiling. So for a few seconds or few minutes, the temperature will still be 100 degrees, isn't it? It will still maintain at 100 degrees. After some amount of time, it will start cooling down. The boiling water will start cooling down, and after a certain amount of time, the temperature will be same as the room temperature. So it will be same as the room temperature here. Okay, next one. The displacement time graph of a lift climbing from ground floor to the top of the building is given here. Which of the following statements are true about the graph, isn't it? So at time t is equal to 0, the lift is just starting, then the velocity increases, and at b the velocity starts decreasing, isn't it? Displacement here, the velocity will start decreasing because it has to stop at c. So here the velocity will start decreasing. But in this part, the velocity is maximum because the lift is accelerating. Here the lift is moving slowly. Now it is picking up speed. Here in this portion, it is accelerating. And at B, it has to slow down because it has to stop to C. So at point A, the lift is stationary, which is correct, because at point A, the lift is stationary. Velocity of the lift is decreasing from point B to C. From point B to C, the velocity is decreasing, which is also correct because it has to stop at C. At point C, the lift is 0 velocity. Again, this is true because it has stopped at point C. Velocity of the lift is minimum at B. No, it is not a minimum at B, isn't it? Because velocity is increasing here. At B, the velocity still is very high. And from B, the velocity will start decreasing, isn't it? But at B, the velocity is still very high. Okay. A cylinder is placed on a balance as shown in the figure. Water is poured into the cylinder and the reading of the balance is recorded for a different height of different heights of water in the cylinder. Which graph correctly shows the variation of balance reading, say M, which is mass, with the height, which is S. So correct option is option C. Why? Because what is the weight of the water? Weight of the water is volume of the water into density. Volume of water into density. What is volume of water in this cylinder? Volume will be pi r square h, where r is the radius and h is the height of the water. R is the radius of the cylinder and h is the height of the water. That will be volume of water into density, isn't it? So now the weight of the water is directly proportional to h, isn't it? If the h increases, weight will also increase in a linear fashion. It is directly proportional, isn't it? So it is in a linear fashion, it will increase, isn't it? So at h is equal to 0 if the mass is this one, which is the mass of the beaker, because at water at 0 height, which is no water, at no water, it's only mass of the beaker. Mass of the beaker may be here, but as you start pouring water here, the mass, it will show increase linearly, will start in linear fashion, because weight, it is directly proportional to height, isn't it? Weight is directly proportional to height in a linear fashion. Okay, next one. Fill in the blanks by choosing an appropriate option. The loudness of sound depends on its dash. The dash determines the pitch of the sound. A bird makes dash sound, whereas a lion makes dash sound. So again, bird makes a high pitch sound, which we all know, chirping sound or high pitch sound, and lion makes a low pitch sound, isn't it? Low pitch, growl of a lion. And again, usually a voice of a woman has higher frequency than a man, because higher frequency, it is called a higher pitch or higher frequency. So the loudness of a sound depends on, what is this? It is amplitude, isn't it? Amplitude. It is the power of the wave. The loudness of a sound depends on the power of the sound wave, which is amplitude, isn't it? And the frequency determines the pitch, which is high pitched or low pitch. It is a frequency determines the pitch, but amplitude, which is the strength or the power of the wave, it will determine the loudness of the sound. Okay, read the given statements and select the correct option. Statement 1, it takes a much longer time and covers more distance to stop a moving ship in water than a moving car with the same speed on the road. Again, you must have noticed this. The friction of water is much less than the solid surface. Again, statement 1 and 2 both are true, and statement 2 is the correct reasoning for statement 1, isn't it? Because friction of water surface is less than a solid surface, isn't it? If you try to stop a boat on water, it will not stop immediately. It will still go on for a few more feet. But if you want to stop a scooter or a car, if you brake hard, it may stop within fraction of a second or within 1 second, because friction on solid surface is much higher than water, and friction on solid surface is much higher than on water surface. Okay, the last one. Hooray. A person standing at the center of a rectangular room is looking at a 1 meter long mirror at the opposite end of the room. How much of the painted wall can he see through the 1 meter long mirror? Okay, so here in the mirror he's seeing the painted wall, but how much of a painted wall can the person see? So again, you have to draw a rough sketch. So if the person is standing here and the person is looking at the corner in this angle, the angle of reflection will be like this. So if person is looking like this, angle of reflection will be like this, and you will see this much of the room. And how much of the room? Now the person is standing here, isn't it? And what is this distance from the center of the person to the mirror? This mirror is 1 meter. So this thing will be half meter or 0.5 meters, isn't it? From the center of the person to here is 0.5 meters. This is 0.5 meters. So 0.5 meters is at a distance of 6 meters. So if you draw the ray like this, if this is 0.5 at 6 meters, at 12 meters it will be double of 0.5. So double of 0.5 will be 1, isn't it? Because at 6 meters from this distance to this point to this point, if it is 0.5, from this point to this point, which is 12 meters, double the distance. This also will be double of 0.5. So double of 0.5 is 1. So whole mirror is 1 meter. So person will see the whole of this 1 meter. Person will also see 1 meter in the left direction and 1 meter in the right direction. So total is 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3 meters. So the person will see whole of 3 meters of wall in this 1 meter of mirror. So with this, we have come to the end of class 8 NSO exam paper 2017 set A, the first 25 questions. You may want to like and subscribe because I normally publish the videos every few days. So thank you, students. Thank you. Bye-bye.